Yo, I think I'm over this EV.
Electric car sales are declining as people are choosing not to buy them.
Electric cars are terrible. 0 out of 10, never would recommend.
Buyer's remorse of a Tesla.
Only that, $18.45 it's costing me. I could have went to a gas station, ate gas station food in their bathroom, came back, listened to a whole album, and still got to where I had to go quicker.
It's time to sell this piece of junk. It's literally just been probably the worst truck that I have ever owned.
Hey everyone, I'm Breeze. Today we're talking about a topic that's been buzzing in the EV world. Why more people are regretting buying their electric vehicles than ever before.
Yo, I think I'm over this EV. I just got off work. Been at work since 5 this morning. Well, 6 this morning. I have to now detour to charge this dumb shit. I'm stuck here. And look how much cars are waiting to charge. Why is there not more charging stations, dude? And I'm stuck here because I don't have enough battery to get home. And the car takes forever to charge.
Well, if you are like me, one of the suckers that bought an electric vehicle, well, bad news for you. The whole EV market has crashed. I lost nearly $40,000 on that car right there, and you might be in the same situation if you bought yourself an electric vehicle. Well, coming from the mouth of a guy that drove across the country in an electric vehicle, what happened is the infrastructure just isn't there. I have so many videos on that. That's not what this video is about. This car was worth a ton of money when I bought it. It's more expensive to buy an electric vehicle than an internal combustion engine vehicle because it's more expensive to build a car like this. And unfortunately, it comes with a lot of headaches as well. Now, you don't have to go buy a premium vehicle. You get a Chevy Volt, which is an also electric car. Nevertheless, the charging infrastructure outside of your own home is really, really difficult. And it's not as reliable as one would hope it had been, and it's not. And sadly, people are starting to realize that it's just less expensive to go buy myself a gas engine Audi than it is to go buy myself an electric Audi or an electric Chevy or an electric Ford. So much so that Toyota has said it themselves that they don't even want to build all electric cars. They go hybrid.
Electric vehicles promised a cleaner future, lower costs, and less time at the pump. But for many people, the reality is hitting hard, and it's not always what they expected. One viewer put it best, "I don't let my phone get to 2%. Why would that guy let his car get there? LOL." And that really says a lot about the mindset of some EV buyers. People treat electricity like it's magic, like it just flows forever, without thinking about the practical limitations. And unfortunately, that can lead to some big regrets. Some buyers don't even do the research. As another viewer shared, the first guy is a perfect example of someone doing no research. You couldn't even charge 200%. EVs aren't just plug and play. There's a lot you need to understand before buying one, from charging speeds to battery degradation. Charging is a huge challenge.
I'm never buying an electric car, and neither should you. Here's why.
So recently, I drove a G-Wagon for the first time, and I thought it would feel powerful, raw, and iconic. But I felt nothing, because it was an electric. And the same thing happened when I drove a Cybertruck. It looked good, but it didn't feel great.
But when I checked out the recent stats on EV, I was shocked.
Electric car sales are declining as people are choosing not to buy them. Not only that, Porsche reported about $1.1 billion quarterly loss, and the biggest reason behind this is that they went all in on EVs.
But they're not the only one. Big brands like Mercedes, GM, and Toyota are also cutting on their EV targets
and reconsidering their next steps.
But the question is, why are they doing this? Well, there are two reasons.
Number one, they can't compete with China on EV prices.
And second, let's face it, most people feel an emotional connection with their cars.
Other than that, EVs have high upfront cost, their battery life is a bit of a problem, and they have less public charging infrastructure.
But the most shocking of all is the environmental impact of the battery production.
Yes, some of the raw material used in the manufacturing of batteries like lithium or cobalt uses lots of energy, leads to pollution, and even destruction of habitation.
So apparently, EVs are not saving the environment as people thought it would. Now, I'm not saying that ICE are the best for the environment, but people drive cars for the roar of the engine and the feeling that it gives you when you drive them. Well, if you're planning to buy an EV, might as well don't buy anything. That will save the planet even more.
What do you mean EVs are the best?
Okay.
One comment explained, "Battery swapping is not a feasible mass-adaptable system, and we will never be able to charge a battery as fast as it takes to fill a gas tank. The faster you charge something, the more resistance you build up in the battery, which degrades it. That's a big deal, because unlike gas, electricity can't just be dumped in instantly without consequences. The more people try to charge quickly, the more they wear out their battery, which can be really expensive to replace.
Whoever thinks that they want a Tesla, they don't. It's the worst mistake of my life. I've had it for like, I don't know, like a month or two. And I literally have to charge it at a charging station every single day because I don't have a charger at my house. I'm f***ing over it.
I regret buying my Tesla. Never thought I would say this, but it messed up today. The screen has stopped working. I will just have to send in for a service request and see what can be done.
Electric cars are terrible. 0 out of 10. Never would recommend. Unless you are one of those people that just want to be local. Like, you don't mind not being able to go far in an instance of an emergency and you need to evacuate. Or just need to find safety. You can't go too far. Because even with the Tesla battery, it goes up to 500 miles per battery. And that's contingent on how much you are using the battery. And as a regular gasoline car driver, you never realize how much you are draining your battery until, well, because you don't take into consideration you're charging your phone, you're turning up the AC, you're using heated seats, you're using heated steering wheels. All those things drain the battery. So I, for one, I'm going to stick with my regular cars. Y'all can keep them electric cars. Good riddance. Y'all can keep them. Since been there, done that, we'll never go back. Promise.
Tech in EVs is another factor. Large touchscreens are all the rage. But as one viewer pointed out, for people obsessed with large screens in their cars, wait until the manufacturer starts throwing ads on your screen or adds subscription services. And I don't understand why Tesla would charge extra for self-driving. You buy a car expecting convenience, but then you might end up paying extra for features you thought were included. That can be frustrating.
Buyer's remorse of a Tesla. I've owned two now. This is a Model 3 and we also have a Model Y. Let me tell you some buyer's remorse, some things I regret not knowing. Well, I had no idea how much it cost to install a charger or my options at home. Most people charge at home. If you can't, there's plenty of superchargers. The cost is going to vary depending on the distance away from your electrical box. And that is because the cabling that they use is expensive. And the further away you go, from where you install the charger from the box, the higher the cost.
I don't like to consider myself a hype beast or anything, but I bought into the hype of the electric cars finally. You know, everyone's like, oh, you're going to save money on gas. You're going to beat the traffic. You know, it's so quick. These charging stations are out of control. So I pulled into this charging station at 66%, okay? You know, I heard a fast charging station. 15 minutes. Let me tell you something. I'm at 89 now, and I've been here for almost 15, 16 minutes. Thank God my car is going to be ready to 100% in 40 fucking minutes. Not only that, $18.45 it's costing me. I could have went to a gas station, ate gas station food in their bathroom, came back, listened to a whole album, and still got to where I had to go quicker.
Longevity is also a concern. One viewer shared, "Meanwhile, my friends, my 2009 Prius just won't die. It has about 300,000 miles and is still going strong." Reliability is something people have come to expect from gas cars. EVs, while impressive in some ways, haven't consistently proven they can last decades without serious maintenance costs.
If you believe that full-on EVs are the future of the car market, you are just brain dead to a point that it's not worth arguing with you. EV subsidies ended 17 days ago. Okay, EV tax credits ended as of September 30th, 2025. We have absolutely zero data on how many sales were made post EV tax credit because we haven't even ended the month. There's been no reporting. So to say that EV sales are up month over month, yes, they may have been up month over month prior to right now, but that's because people are either, if I'm going to buy an EV, I'm going to buy before the subsidies are over, and If you increase from 2 to 4, that's up over a month. They still do not outsell gas internal combustion vehicles. I have said it for a long time, and people can call me crazy if they want to. They can say I'm just pushing off the future, but EVs are not the future of the market, okay? They are a fad that were pushed on by the federal government. Without the subsidies and all the mandates coming out of states like California, EV market would have crashed in its inception. There's a reason why GM started making EVs in the late 90s and then stopped. There's a reason why Nissan had like the Leaf and then their EV market is pretty much non-existent. Tesla lasted as long as they did because they became a technology company that happened to make EVs, as well as they just capitalized on all of the CAFE standards and sold carbon credits to all the companies who weren't meeting those standards. Future of cars is not electric vehicles. At best, we will have plug-in hybrids, or companies will do what Edison Motors is doing with trucks, is that we will make diesel electric or gasoline electric hybrid vehicles that essentially it will have an electric drivetrain, but it will have a gas or diesel powered generator that produces the power for the electric drivetrain. Really, EVs are less practical in every sense.
Ford Mach-E. Yeah, because his wife is buried in this thing. They said they should have leased it, but they bought it. I told them, us as a dealership, we give you that information. I'm assuming they didn't tell you how this market usually plays out.
You never know. They might have. We've had a few people that have insisted on buying electric cars despite our pleading that they not. So this has got a bad Carfax. And so what are they on this?
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's really bad.
How bad? This doesn't even have all-wheel drive?
Knocked off like a bunch for that.
Yeah, $1,500.
Current payoff, and this is what he gave me. We still have to pull it, but about 48 grand.
So he's like 31 grand upside down?
Yeah, they know they're 30K flip. They know it's a nightmare. But then I just reached out to him over the weekend and just said, hey, I don't know if you guys have thought about it lately, but you know, with this promotion ending, I'd love to just give it another shot, see if it's something that works for you guys. So we're looking at potentially burying it into that EQE. I think they're gonna just be willing to accept that their payment's gonna go at least near $1,500 minimum.
Time is another big factor. Charging can take hours. As one clever comment said, there needs to be charging stations in gym parking lots. If it's going to take an hour to charge, you might as well get a workout in. That's the reality of current charging infrastructure. Even if you have a fast charger, it still can't compete with the convenience of filling up a gas tank in minutes. Cost is another point of frustration. One viewer wrote, I've thrown $100 bills in the tank for my pickup, but I was gone 5 minutes later. Charging for hours is insane. Yes, electricity is cheaper per mile in theory, but when you factor in long charging times, expensive home setups, or subscription services, the cost-benefit isn't as simple as it seems.
Here's why the Cybertruck is the perfect mom and family car. First of all, huge back trunk. With the tonneau cover, you never have to worry about all your kids' stuff getting wet or your groceries. Everything stays nice and dry. The doors open to 90 degrees, which is super great for loading in kiddos. Even with 2 car seats in the back and my 6'3" husband in the front, I still got plenty of room.
It's seat 7.
Another great mom feature is all the space in this truck. I love this tray down here, which is perfect for a diaper bag or a purse. And check this out, a hidden drawer for anything important.
Oh my God, where did that come from? Did you know that was there?
But best of all, you look like a total badass driving your kids around in this.
When you become a parent, no one thinks you're badass. In fact, my kids tell me I'm cringe every day.
If anybody needs to be defluenced from buying an electric vehicle, let me tell you how much my tags are. I'll give you a second to guess. Whatever you guessed, probably wrong. $560. The electric vehicle tags cost more than the regular gas tags. It's because when you fill up your car with gas, embedded in the price of the gas is gas tax, and that tax goes towards the roads. So to make up for you driving your electric vehicle on roads without paying your fair share of gas tax, your plate renewals are much higher. Much higher.
Some EVs work for specific needs, though. One viewer talked about their neighbor's Ford Lightning truck. He even had the charging port installed beside his garage and uses it to tow a small fishing boat. That's a great example of an EV working perfectly for the right person in the right situation. But not every EV fits every lifestyle, and that mismatch can lead to regret.
So this guy went to insure his Cybertruck and he was quoted $400 a month. And then he was told he was underquoted and the person who underquoted him was fired and it was actually supposed to be $800 a month. He was like, you mean $800 for 6 months, right? And State Farm said, no, $800 per month. So you'll be paying $9,600 per year. Someone else chimed in and said Geico dropped their Cybertruck coverage completely and now they're paying $600 a month with Progressive. Another person said that Progressive refused to cover their full self-driving, which is like a $6,000 purchase in the event that their Cybertruck was totaled. A company called Hanover Insurance is dropping the Cybertruck completely, including for people that have had 0 accidents ever. They said that we are unable to adequately rate and underwrite this vehicle. Also, it looks like Geico is now refusing to cover the Cybertruck at all and has terminated all existing Cybertruck policies, saying it doesn't meet our underwriting guidelines.
Then there's the human factor. People often treat electricity differently than gasoline because they can't see it or feel it. One viewer explained, I think part of the issue with EVs is that people think electricity is magic. You can't see it, so people don't ascribe the same value to it as gasoline. That lack of tangibility can make people careless with how they use their EV or unrealistic about its limitations.
Tesla regrets. I'm going to be honest with you about owning Teslas. Some regrets that you might have either now or in the future, and some easy ways to avoid Tesla buyer's remorse. So we own a Model 3 and a Model Y. Here's some regrets some Tesla owners had a few years ago. Teslas were at peak prices. We're talking $70,000 for a Model Y. Since then, the prices have come down, but Tesla does not advertise. So how are you going to know the best time to buy? Don't have this regret. Don't buy and then weeks or even a month or two later, the price goes down, interest rates go down, and then big incentives come out. Here's what you want to do. Go to the Tesla website. This is the easiest thing to do. Then scroll down. Right in the middle left of the page, it says current offers. And you don't want to buy a Tesla and they get burned. Miss all of these incentives. So now you have 1.99% for certain trims of the Model 3 and a Model Y. You have complimentary full self-driving referral discounts. You can save $500 just by using a Tesla owner's referral link. And you can get 3 months of free full self-driving. You can choose 3 months of free FSD or $500.
Do not buy an electric car. I'm just going to vent a little bit right here. Electric cars are good for tooling around town, but forget going on any trips with these. It took us 8 hours on a 4-hour trip to get to Indianapolis. The things are broken. Charging stations are broken. We went to a charging station that was broken, so we're like, oh, we'll go to the next one, which was at a Nissan dealership, and buying a Nissan, they said you could charge at their places, but guess what? When we got to Nissan dealership, it was broken too. So where did I end up? At a Hyundai dealership. Charged there, did a fast charge, it took like 30 minutes, got it fully charged. We drove for, 120 miles, got to the next Hyundai dealership, got on the expressway again for about 120 miles. We get to the next location. Nissan here does not have a liquid-cooled battery. I didn't know that. No one told me that when I got this car. But they have an air-cooled battery. So that means if you do a fast charge and get on the expressway and heat that battery up, so eventually when you get to a next fast charger, it will not charge it fast at all. It's very hot. The battery is so hot it won't take the charge.
Now, it's not all doom and gloom. Some people do their homework. One viewer shared, "These videos are wild. We put in a lot of effort researching before getting our EV. We even rented one for a road trip to Vermont in February because we love snowboarding. It was the most extreme, realistic situation we could imagine at the time." Even when people plan ahead, extreme conditions, cold weather, long trips, heavy use, can still push an EV to its limits. And then that's a point worth emphasizing.
Steve, you did a deal with my wife after we went all through this stuff. She goes, that's the same guy that sold me my car.
I remember you guys. Yeah, of course.
I got a huge puzzle for you to solve, and I don't know if it's going to be solvable or not.
We'll see.
I bought a Genesis GV60. I love electric cars. I travel like 66 miles a day, and it's saving me a lot of money on gas. But I purchased it at the height. I just wanted to get the electric car because I was going through gas like nobody's business. I absolutely love it. It's just that the payment is out of control. It's $938 a month. It's been 3 years now, and it's like, all right, let me see if I can do anything. I do have a lot of miles on the car. The value left in the car, even when I go to Carvana and that stuff, it looks like it's around 17, 18. I still owe 39 on the car. I spent all the money putting the electric outlet, but I don't need to have a fancy electric car. I need a commuter electric car if there's such a thing.
You're 20 grand upside down, essentially, right?
Yep.
That alone is a $550 payment. If we were to roll that into a new car lease, which is the only thing I'll recommend doing, how many years do you have left on your finance?
About 32.
It's time to sell this piece of junk. It's literally just been probably the worst truck that I have ever owned. I don't know why I would buy such a thing like this. I mean, you know, it's not like my key is literally my phone. And then also too, when I need to go somewhere, I just press the self-driving button and it just goes. This thing's bulletproof. It has 4-wheel steering, steer by wire. It is bulletproof. It's got armored glass. And yeah, I'm just casually here, just going to my next place, not having to do anything. Why would anyone buy this in 2025? It's absolutely crazy. Actually, that's the furthest thing from the truth. If you're living in 2025 and you don't own a Tesla Cybertruck or a Tesla in general, what are you even doing? It's crazy. That's the future. There's no other vehicle to buy.
There is no used car market for EVs. We as salespeople, Tesla included, need to do a better job of explaining to people that when you buy an EV, you have to understand that the market on it, when you trade it in or try to sell it privately, is not going to be there. EVs are the only vehicles where what KBB is saying, what Edmunds is saying, what all of those online trade value things are saying is not real because they don't sell. A 5-year-old F-150 still has a 36-gallon tank. Doesn't work the same way for an EV. 5 years later, that battery might have lost 25% of its life. I get it. It goes against everything we were taught, but we really are shooting ourselves in the foot when they come back and try to trade it, and they're shocked that they're not even at half what they paid for the car 2 years later. You need to lease them and make it the dealership's problem.
This is a list of vehicles with the largest discount off of their factory MSRP. The Acura ZDX with a current discount between $18,000 and $35,000. The Dodge Charger Daytona EV with an average discount between $20,000 and $32,500. The Jaguar I-Pace currently $20,000 or more off MSRP. The Audi S e-tron currently over $20,000 off MSRP. The Lucid Air currently between $15,000 and $20,000 off MSRP. The Polestar 3 up to $18,000 off MSRP. The Volkswagen ID4 up to $17,400 off MSRP. The BMW i7 up to $16,000 off MSRP. The GMC Hummer EV, both the pickup and the SUV, are up to $15,000 off MSRP. The Kia EV6 up to $15,000 off of MSRP. The Genesis GV60 up to $14,500 off of MSRP.
EVs are incredible technology, but they aren't magic. They require understanding, planning, and sometimes compromise. People expecting their EV to behave exactly like a gas car in every scenario can quickly feel disappointed. Some buyers are frustrated because EVs don't yet make sense for everyone. Slow charging times, battery degradation, tech quirks, subscription services, and high upfront costs all contribute to regret. And with more people buying EVs, the stories of disappointment are multiplying. But here's the thing. Regret isn't inevitable. If you understand your needs, research your options, and plan for the practical realities of EV ownership, they can be amazing vehicles. Many early adopters are thrilled with their EVs because they understand what they're getting into and how to work with the limitations. For those who aren't careful, though, it's a different story. EVs are still evolving, and infrastructure and technology improvements are ongoing. Charging networks are expanding, battery technology is improving, and car manufacturers are listening to feedback. But until then, it's a wild ride for some early buyers, and that's why regret is so common. So what can you take away from all this? Do your research, understand your lifestyle needs, and think carefully about where and how you'll charge your EV. Don't just buy one because everyone else is doing it, or because it sounds futuristic. EVs can be amazing, but they're not magic, and skipping the homework is a quick way to buyer's remorse. At the end of the day, it's about finding the right car for the right person. Some people will love their EVs forever. Others might wish they had thought twice before making the purchase. And for those still curious, try renting one for a test run in extreme conditions, snow, long trips, heavy use, and see if it meets your expectations before committing. Thank you for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe, comment below on your thoughts, and let's meet up in the next video. Peace out.